Hey everyone, this is Ray with the channel LovewaterHealing, and I'm here to do a reading for all my Geminis for the month of May. Thanks so much for being here, and happy early birthday if your birthday falls at the end of the month. As always, I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave me a comment about your thoughts on this video. Okay, Gemini, let's see what we have here for the month of May. For the month of May, ooh, you've got freedom. So it says, liberate yourself from the manifestations of the past, from what is often called tradition. Throw away the cupboard doors to reveal the skeletons and release the crystallized views of your ancestors that have manifested as your genes. Your genes are threads of reality formed by the power of your ancestors' thoughts and feelings. Let us say thank you to all who have come before us for their creations and all they've lived. For in doing so, they gave us options and brought you to where you are now. When you were born, you arrived at the vibration of all the generations before you and what they wanted. You are the manifestation of the expanded previous generation. Each generation's job is to expand even more for the sheer beauty of it. This is the natural flow of life. Somehow, we allowed ourselves to become living statues, reenacting the experiences of the past, becoming a victim to this. Your genes are a blueprint formed by the past to give you a place to start from when you arrive. Your genes do not decide anything, you do. Liberate yourself and become who you are. You are powerful. And I think that's just you having to remember now as we're moving forward and the planets are sort of changing signs, right? Uranus is going to be in Gemini, that you have your whole world ahead of you, and it feels like everything suddenly opens up and you get really focused and feel like you're not so all over the place. And you're able to really look at different opportunities as win-win, as opposed to you win or they win, right? So it feels a lot better when you're able to solution it out, because there are no problems or issues, there's only solutions. And being able to see it from that perspective and recognizing that, this is the way that you are, this is the person that you've become, and maybe it doesn't feel as good to be that anymore. So you're sort of changing those expectations, letting go of those outdated belief systems, especially ones that were created between the ages of 0 and 7. Not that they're bad, it's just something that maybe doesn't serve you anymore, because those were specific rules and things that were set in place by your parents. And we all go through it, everyone has them, but sometimes they're not maybe the things that make you feel the best now, and you have to make those choices for yourself and not be worried about where everyone else is or what they think about it or any of those things. Just do what you need to do for yourself, Gemini. And there's a part of you too that wants to claim this personal power, right? So to be within yourself, feel confident in who you are. The angels are reminding you that you have to give yourself strength and recognize that there's right things for you to do for yourself and not be worried about what anyone else thinks about it. There's an inner conflict maybe that you're struggling with. So it's better to work through your inner conflict before starting or having conversations or struggling with other people. First, we have to work on ourselves before we're able to really understand others. So I would say the key to that is doing things that, help you to love yourself as you forward yourself in the next direction for something that actually makes you feel good, because your focus is going to be so much more, it's going to be more sharp in the direction that you want to go. So choose to create that direction for something that actually feels good as opposed to fighting against it. And then so you may want to, as you start to realize the things that really bring you joy, Gemini, honing in on your skills and making it part of who you are, and going and learning, taking some classes, maybe a seminar, going back to school, maybe learning from someone like a mentor or someone around you is going to be really beneficial for you now, because it's going to feel like a full speed ahead, like you finally have chosen a direction that you want to go. It feels really good, and so you keep pushing in that direction. But this is going to be like an extra win sort of picks you up and takes you on your way. So allow that manifestation to come into play. It's going to feel like a little bit intense at first, but once you're able to see it from a different perspective and understand like that you have control over your own creations, your own thoughts, your own person, and there's no control you have over anybody else, that you start to choose yourself. You start to choose things that bring you joy and not worry about other people and what maybe in their case brings them joy. Let's see. Fairies, what do we have for the Geminis? Ooh. Okay, so there's lots of progress, you pushing forward, seeing sort of like what you've built for yourself off in the distance, right? Seeing those beautiful castles and things that you've put in for yourself. And also realizing that it's about time for you to start thinking about your future. It's about time for you to start like jumping on the bandwagon and taking care of yourself and realizing this is what you want. And so you're going to make those choices for yourself and not worry about what family thinks about it, not worrying about, everything that's been put before you that makes you feel good or makes you feel bad. You're creating a legacy for yourself now. You're creating a wealth legacy. You're creating sort of that generational wealth that is going to be something that your children, your children's children, and your children's children's children will appreciate. And it feels like you're finally at this place where it's like you've achieved it, you've completed it, you've gotten it to that like next level, because you understand that it's a choice that you make, it's control over yourself, and that you don't have control over anyone else. I think letting go of that and really seeing what brings you the most joy is going to be what's key to everything that comes to pass. It's not going to be so hard anymore. You're going to not be fighting against everyone else around you, because now you're like going inward and you have that inward battle that you're dealing with and that you've been dealing with for a while, but you sort of put it off because you wanted to blame other people for what was going on. But really it's about what you're creating for yourself. It's about how you want to continue to move, right? And especially for the next 7 years. So start creating for yourself, start having control and taking control over your emotions and how you feel. Because it's just going to be full speed ahead. It's just going to be you moving forward, completing, doing amazing things, and really seeing the world for what it is in your life, what you have control over and what makes you feel good. It's not going to be about anyone else, Gemini. This is what you're going to want it to be about other people, but it's not going to be about other people. It's going to be about, where do I fit in? How do I feel good? What does my inner child say? What kind of work or what am I passionate about? And what am I going to move forward toward in my future? And that's what's going to be important. There's a freedom that comes along with it because you finally feel free. You finally feel like you can make the decisions yourself and there's no one else that is going to make them for you. And you're going to start working towards, getting yourself to that next place and not worrying about what other people feel about what choices you're making. Because they're choices for you, they're not choices for anyone else. And if you recognize that and see it for what it is, then that's even more beautiful, because you're giving yourself the opportunity to really love yourself enough. And saying like, yes, I am worth it. Yes, I do want a future. And here's what my future looks like. I don't care what other people are doing around me. I've observed their behavior. I've observed where they're at, and that doesn't make me feel good. So now I'm going to choose to move in a direction that actually makes me feel good. I'm going to choose freedom for myself. And then the other people that are around me that are coming along with me, it's because they're creating the same thing in that direction. If they're not coming along with me, guess what? They're not creating for that for their life. They're not creating the freedom that they want for themselves. They are doing their own thing. And that makes sense, right? Because people are basically inherently selfish, and as they should be in a lot of situations. Seeing it like, am I going to be able to do this? Well, it's dependent on other people. It's never dependent on other people. It's about what you choose to make and what you choose to create for yourself. And being able to see it from that perspective and realize that you are good enough for this next step. And it's going to be a gradual thing. It's not going to be like all at once where it just sort of explodes around you. You're going to start like sort of planning more strategically in the direction that you want to go, about the things that bring you joy, that you want to pursue as part of who you are right now, here and now. But there is a power that comes along with it because you start to feel like you are empowered yourself. You feel what it is to follow your intuition. You see, the bigger picture of what life is about, as opposed to just seeing a very narrow way and seeing 500 narrow ways that you could go. It feels like everything starts to open up for you, Gemini. Super excited for May. And then as you come into your birthday month, so if it's your birthday at the end of May, happy birthday. But if it's your birthday coming here in June, it's going to be a whirlwind. It's going to be super fun. And I'm excited for you to create the things that you actually want and start doing the things that bring you joy. And that's all I have for you. I really appreciate you being here. As always, love your water and love yourself. And I'll see you on the next video. Love you.